Good morning, darlings. So my soul has been feeling really heavy in this upside down world we're living in, and what's the best medicine? And that's laughter. So I decided that every day I'm going to bring a little laughter into my life, and I'd like to share it with you. And I'm going to use the two most favorite things in my world, and that's AI and scammers. So let's go through some of the emails that I'm getting in my professional email. This one's titled, "What if death is only the beginning of the sentence? A crimantasy debut that dares to ask. Dear Mr. Lingenfelter." I'll give you that one because I write with my initials only. "I hope this message finds you well. I have just finished reading Nightmares, Book 1, and I need to tell you honestly, this debut is a haunting, visually striking, and morally audacious fusion of true crime and dark fantasy that does something I have never seen before." And I'm curious about this email because when I got this email, Nightmares had just been released. I had 4 sales. 3 of them were for me. The 4th one was from somebody I know personally. So how did you get a copy of my book? We'll read on. "As an author who has partnered with an illustrator to create a series where real criminal cases become the portal to a mysterious realm beyond the mortal world, where unseen forces watch, judge, and determine the fate of the guilty after death, you have done something rare. You did not write another true crime retelling or another supernatural horror novel. You built a crimantasy series that asks the question most crime stories avoid. What awaits the guilty after death? And you answer it with illustrations that make the afterlife of justice as vivid as the crimes themselves. This is not a book that should stay quiet. What struck me most is the moral architecture of your premise. These are not stories that exploit real tragedy for entertainment. They are inspired by real criminal cases and a journey beyond the crime to examine the nature of evil, accountability, and the enduring human desire for justice. The mysterious realm where justice takes form far stranger and often far more terrifying than anything found on earth. It is not escapist fantasy. It is moral speculation. Each condemned soul faces ultimate reckoning, and the reader is drawn into the landscape where punishment, consequence, and judgment are not abstractions, but lived, illustrated, visceral experiences. The trigger warning is not a marketing gimmick. It is a promise. These stories contain themes that some readers may find disturbing or emotionally challenging because they refuse to look away from the reality of what humans do to one another. For anyone who has ever felt that true crime leaves them unsatisfied, that prison or execution is not enough, that the moral ledger remains unbalanced, or who simply believes that the darkest fantasies are the ones that ask us to judge ourselves, Nightmares is essential reading. And that is why I'm reaching out to you today. I am launching a major campaign starting June 30th with a clear vision to connect groundbreaking genre-fusing books like yours to bulk buyers, strengthen Amazon presence, generate authentic reviews, and pursue book award recognition. This is not a vague promise. This is a structured strategy, innovative, that has already secured commitments from several authors. The response has been strong, and I believe Nightmares has the crimantasy originality, the illustrated format, the true crime foundation, and the philosophical depth to be a standout in this campaign. Here's what the campaign includes, and I'm not going to get into all of the little BS stuff that they list. We'll do the highlights though: bulk buyer connections, Amazon bestselling, strategy, featured placements, review generation, book award submissions. This book has everything it needs to succeed. A crimantasy premise that is genuinely without precedent. The partnership with Illustrator that makes the afterlife of justice visible. A foundation in real criminal cases that grounds the fantasy in moral reality. A trigger warning that signals respect for the reader rather than exploitation. And a question: what awaits the guilty after death? That haunts long after the final page. With the right campaign, it can reach university libraries, climb Amazon rankings, earn awards, and find the widespread readership of true crime fans, dark fantasy readers, philosophers of justice, and anyone who has ever felt that the story does not end when the gravel falls. Let me know if you're ready to secure your slot for the June 30th campaign. Reply with "Let's proceed," and I will send over the details and next steps. Warmly, Robert Cole. Well, Mr. Cole, or Miss Cole, I hate to tell you, but your AI generated prompt, pretty good considering the fact that all of the key details came from my book description on Amazon, and as a new release, I understand that I need to start out from somewhere, but kudos for just copying and pasting this out of my book blurb and doing an AI prompt. Many blessings and wishes to you in your future endeavors.